Hi, everybody. Welcome back to a special season of Talking Insights, the podcast by Research World and SMR. I'm your host, Antonio, and this series shines a spotlight on the companies that partner with us during the SMR Congress. The brands and organizations helping to drive the future of insights forward. Across 6 episodes, we'll be talking with leaders and innovators from the companies at Congress to explore how they're shaping the industry. Join us as we celebrate collaboration, innovation, and the shared vision that powers the global insights community. And for this episode, we're talking about the ResTech landscape. To help us unfold this term, we have Patrick Comer, CEO of Cint. From the importance of technology in research, the role of AI in enhancing operations, and the industry readiness to embrace these changes, we'll discuss innovative approaches to stay competitive in the industry.
Absolutely.
Can you tell me what's ResTech and what's the whole thing and what's the biggest disruptor in this space?
So let's start with ResTech, right?
Yeah.
So for the longest time, this industry had a hard time defining its technology disruption and growth curve. So you've heard of concepts like ad tech or martech, which is typically the technology innovators in an industry and how they're changing and growing that industry. About, maybe 10 years ago, I was a part of a number of leaders who said, we need to define that technology curve within the market research industry.
Yeah.
What tech are we? And so it was actually at a different conference, we listed in front of the entire conference group and said, are we data tech? Is it insights tech? Is it res tech? And voted.
Yeah.
Very narrow, right? And the outcome was ResTech, which is research technology. So it allows for, say that you're talking, what industry are you in?
Yeah.
We're in ResTech. And specifically what that would be is we're a technology company in the market research space that's looking to change, evolve, and grow that space.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It's also a space that it's growing a lot lately,
Absolutely.
right? I heard that if you divide it in like 3 parts of the markets, ResTech is one of the biggest growers, right?
That's exactly right. So if you look at, say, advertising or research, that entire industry grows around 6% per year, naturally. That's been happening for 30 years, right? But the technology side will grow from 30 to 50 to 100% per year.
Oh, okay.
So it's really identifying the technology portion of an industry versus the more consultative or services-based part of the industry.
That makes sense. Absolutely.
And then we create the landscape so that new people can look at what are all the players in this space. So there's a landscape on like restecher.com. So it's restech plus er.com. You can actually download the landscape and see what is the market research space look like? What are the technology pieces? How does this all fit together? And so you can know how it actually is structured, right? So it's meant for the newcomer to see what is all this.
Right. These days, when we talk about technology, and especially in these types of conferences, almost everyone kind of mentions AI, artificial intelligence.
It seems to be everyone can spell AI this year.
Yeah. Luckily, it's a small world. So
luckily, it's a small word.
What's the role of AI in the whole ResTech environment, the whole landscape of it? Where does it include and get into it?
Well, I look at AI and what I call the AI cake.
Okay.
Right? And there are layers to a cake, right?
Yeah.
So foundationally, when we talk at Cint about AI, first, we want to make sure that all of our team members have access to AI and are trained on it for their day job, right? And so that seems obvious, but across the organization, you want to make sure that everyone understands how to use it and use it appropriately in the context of the company. So that's the first layer, is the employee layer, the team layer, right? The second is within the role, within the job function. For example, our HR team, our people team, they use a platform called Harriet, which is an AI platform that allows even myself to ask HR questions. So even this past 2 weeks ago, I had a pay stub, a payment question, and I could actually log into Harriet through our Slack platform and ask questions. So that's one way to use AI within the job function itself. Then you have within the product, what our customers see and use us for, right? Using it. And then the biggest probably disruptor of all could be synthetic data, which is using AI generated data versus direct human generated data. And that could be quite disruptive and also quite controversial. So those are like the 4 layers of the cake that we talk about in AI. Does that make any sense?
That's a beautiful cake. I'm hungry already.
Yeah. Let's have some cake.
I got one final question. We're here in the SMR Congress.
Yeah.
It's the second day. There's a lot of talk. There's a lot of networking. There's a lot of things going on all the time.
Absolutely.
A lot of people. Is there something that you already saw or hear that inspired you and that you're going to bring back to your day-to-day job and then for your position?
One is, I think I've seen 3 different tech transformations in this industry. 20 years ago, it was the move from telephone-based interviews to online, which sounds archaic now, but it was a big deal 20 some odd years ago. The second transition was from manual delivery to automated delivery, what we call programmatic. That was about 10 years ago. And now we're making this transition from how does AI impact or not impact everything we do? So it's a transformational tech change. The difference is in those first 2, almost everyone at the conference was slow to move and almost against the tech change.
Yeah.
The difference this time around is the industry is leaning into the technology shift. That's very different approach than previous years, and gives me confidence that the industry is going to move quickly into the right answer. Now, we're all trying to figure out what the right answer is.
Yeah, it's a rat race.
But instead of market research maybe losing ground to marketing or advertising in terms of budgets because of AI, I suspect we'll be able to keep in gain because we're moving so quickly. That's the difference in my mindset.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely.
I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.
I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.
I will try to do it, of course. I mean, it's been some crazy days doing all these interviews, but I've learned so much, and all throughout doing these episodes, I think you learn so much, and you got a different sense of the industry. You get to meet people that are actually.
What have you learned that you weren't expecting to learn over the past couple of days?
I learned some of the things where the inclusion of AI, especially, and what people are working on it. Because one thing is what you say that you are, I'm using AI in my company, or we're going to use synthetic data in my company, or whatever it is.
Sure.
But some of the useful things that people are using, like the one that you're mentioning with the Payslip and the Slack and those integrations, to see where actual people, especially in
like
top
actual
roles,
examples versus
actual examples of actual people, and especially in top roles, not just like, I don't want to call it down roles and slow roles on the pyramid of the whole company, but one thing is like officers, and they can just use AI to the common task of the day-to-day.
Yeah.
But the CEOs and the top people actually using those tools for something that they can benefit and save them time for some things, I think that's very, very interesting and very inspiring so far.
Oh, very cool. All right.
There you go.
Thank you.
It's done.
Where's
Very close.
And that's all for today, folks. Talking Insights is a production of Research World and SMR, bringing you the stories, voices, and ideas shaping the insights community around the world. If you'd like to be featured in a future episodes, share your story, or learn more about sponsoring opportunities, send us an email at podcast@smr.org. And don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts. And join us next week for another great conversation. See ya.